Hagrid's carried. Neville, who is it?
Harry Potter is dead!
No! No!
Silence! Stupid girl. Harry Potter is dead. From this day forth, you put your faith in me. Harry Potter is dead! And now is the time to declare yourself. Come forward and join us. Well, I must say I'd hoped for better. And who might you be, young man?
Stephen here.
Well, Neville, I'm sure we can find a place for you in our ranks.
I'd like to say something. We lost Harry tonight. He's still with us. In here. So's Fred. Remus. Tonks. All of them. They didn't die in vain. But you will. Because you're wrong. Harry's heart did beat for us. For all of us. It's not over.
What is up, people? We are back with a new episode. Alright, it is that time of the week again. Okay, and a quick shout out to today's sponsor. It is our good friends over at Kmart with their light up microphones. We thank them so much for all their hard work and their effort. We appreciate you for everything that you do, Kmart, and all the support you give this channel. Alright, today's episode is going to be about my portfolio. It's going to be a bit of an update, a couple new learnings this week, which are really important for my progress. So, not wasting time here. We've given the sponsor shout out. Let's just dive straight into it. Alright guys, so let's go through my portfolio. If it's loading, it's a bit slow this morning, just trying to wake up. So this week, again, another half marathon. I'm eating them for breakfast at this point of the day. 21.3 kilometers, a little bit slower. Like I said in that last one, I was probably a bit more of an ego run. I was just trying to run a bit too hard. So I slowed it down, felt really good after this one. Felt like I was confident to keep running in that long run there, so it's always a good sign from what I've read. Then obviously just my footy training, and then just a 6k run at not like a hard pace, but a nice cruisy pace, still pushing myself a little. Then week 11 was a good week as well. I hit the 3 hour point, huge milestone. I think back, like me reflecting on it, I've learned a lot throughout this time, and being able to now run for 3 hours continuously, something I'm really proud of and something I never thought I'd be able to do, so it's quite cool for me to say that. Again, another half marathon tick. It's easy, light work, baby. Okay, then we've got just a nice 7k run. That one was actually a pretty quick run. I was really proud of myself to hold under a 6-minute pace, which for me, I look back and I actually think for that 5k, if I had just ran 5ks, I think I would have ran like my personal best for a 5k, and I ran longer than that by 2 kilometers. So again, something like I'm picking up on the progress that I'm making in my learning here. Then footy training again, just Thursday night, little kick and a catch, run around, clocking up the Ks there. Next week was an interesting one. This is where I learnt. Okay, I learnt some things this week. Firstly, footy training was a tough one. We had a bit of a heavier session. We did 2 conditioning blocks. So thank you to my coach for doing that. I really appreciated that. And then I just had like a bit of the running blues almost. I couldn't find any of that motivation. I was pretty late. Yeah, I was lazy. Just didn't have that like spark about me to say, okay, I'm going to get out and go for a run. especially on the Saturday, which is when I'd kind of penciled in for my long runs, but I had a few things going on this week. So like, you know, I just squeezed in a 4K run on a Thursday. And then if you look here, when I'd usually go for a long run, I only went 9.5 kilometers. Found out the hard way, or nearly found out the hard way, as to why some people stay away from caffeinated gels. Had some stomach issues, so that was not pleasant, but that caused me to do some research as to why people might not want to use caffeinated gels. Alright, so if we come over here, caffeinated gels, they enhance alertness and energy levels, and they may offer like that, just that extra little boost. So I used a caffeinated gel at the start, thinking, because it was a little bit early in the morning, I'll give myself a little bit of a perk up, feel a little bit better. However, caution is advised, because not everyone responds well to caffeine during exercise. I am one of those people, and it might cause stomach issues or a sudden need to visit the loo. I was hustling to the loo, alright? Also, I found like this week as well, like I said, when my motivation level has been quite low, I was kind of like, I almost had like a couple sleepless nights where I was thinking, crap, how am I going to do this? How am I going to run a full marathon? I just don't know whether I'm going to be able to do that. And obviously, like, I do a bit of like research online, do a bit of scrolling online as well, on Instagram, on the Reels. And this guy pops up every now and then, like Josh Jogs, and quick shout out to Josh Jogs, love the work that you're doing. He kind of mentioned this thing called paranoia, and that really resonated with me, because it's kind of like what I was feeling that whole week. It was like, I don't know if I can do this, I've got so much more to go. So I found it out in one of his videos, and I kind of looked into it a little bit more, and these all like the things that I was feeling, like, you know, I was feeling worried, I was you know, I was panicking about, am I going to be able to do this? Also, like, just some of those, like that run that I did on the Sunday morning, that was just, I felt like it was a serious slog, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm not going to be able to do this. So I've done some research in it, and it's like almost reaffirming for me, knowing that it's a normal thing, rather than it's not just me panicking at the, like, you know, when I'm 8 weeks out from a marathon. So, you know, for me, it's a little bit like, it's good to know, like, it's a normal thing for me to feel. So they're the two things that I learned. A, don't use caffeinated gels, maybe use them towards the end of my run. And B, or number 2, is paranoia is real, and it's a common thing, so that's fine. And I guess I've just got to live with it and deal with it. I've got to find that spark again. I'm going to get back into it next week, which I will give you an update on how that is going. And that is me done for this bit. Now let's throw it back to some smart fella. And that is all for today. Again, shout out to our sponsor of today's episode, Kmart, bringing up with the goods. That light up microphone, just giving us clarity in our voice in these beautiful videos. Another shout out, okay, goes to Dillhound Media. Appreciate the work that he put in last week. It was a lot of work. I gave him a big task, and he exceeded expectations, so we appreciate him for all his work. So let me know my shout out and my sponsor for this week's episode. And yeah, just keep on working hard, and I'll see you in class next week.